What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of the new iOS 5 for the iPhone and iPad. This is the developer preview, so you guys aren't able to get this yet. This will be officially out this fall, and you guys will be able to get your hands on it then. Otherwise, unless you're connected to a $99 paid developer account, you cannot get this. Sorry. So there are over 200 new features in iOS 5. I only have time to show you a couple today. I'll show you some of the main ones. I don't even know all of the features in iOS 5. But what I'm going to be doing is updating a post on my site, which I'll link you to below. And I'll have tons and tons of screenshots as well as all the features that I come across or people tell me that they've come across. And that way we can kind of get a unified list of all the new features in iOS 5. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Notification Center, which is the new notifications on iOS 5. A lot of people wanted a new notification system on iOS 5, and it is finally here, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be really happy with this one. So what it does, it combines all of your notifications, including emails, text, friend requests, calendars, reminders, missed calls, and even more into one place. With the previous notifications, you would actually get a little notification pop up, and whatever app you're in, it would pause whatever you're doing and basically stop you from what you're doing until you close it out. With this, it doesn't bug you at all. Let me show you how the notifications work. What I'm going to do is I got my girlfriend's phone right here. I'm just going to send a text message to myself and show you what it looks like. Okay, so there we go. We get a top bar. This is not going to affect you at all if you're playing Angry Birds or Cut the Rope or something like that. It's not going to affect you. And then it has this little cube transition, and then it's gone. Now, say you wanted to access that. Basically, all you do, anywhere on your phone, you drag from the top down, and you can see all of your notifications right there. If you want it to go away, drag right up and swipe away. Now, a lot of people are comparing this to Android and saying they're copying them. I've used both. I prefer this way over Android. This just actually works so much better, and I like the layout a little bit better than that. So let's take another look at the notification center. If we scroll it down, here we see that I have my messages. I can just tap on any one of these and it'll open up, and I can see all my text messages from there. Let's go back to it. You can see your mail, which here's all my emails that I've gotten recently. And then they also have options for weather and stocks. I removed the stocks because I don't really care for stocks. But you can see the weather in your local area, and you can scroll over and see the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, basically the 7-day forecast for it. So it's really, really nice. The notifications are so much better on this. They made it so it's not annoying. It's all in one place, and it's easy to access from anywhere on your phone. So let me send myself a text message again and give you a little preview of this. So I'm sending the text message now, and there we go. So I've got the text message popped up. It's going to show you all of your emails and everything like that. You've got also, obviously I can only do a text message right now. Now let's say you want to access this, just click on the icon and slide over, and it opens up directly in the app. Now let's say you don't like this notification system. I don't know why you wouldn't, but let's say you didn't. Well, you can open up the settings app, and what you do is just go to notifications, and you can change everything in here back to exactly how it used to be. So if I want to go to Twitter, I can set it to none, banners, just like we had it before. This is the new notification system. Or we can set it to alerts, which is actually going to pop up and interrupt you in whatever you're doing. So you can set all kinds of settings, and you can do that for every app. So it works really great, and you can customize the notifications for whatever apps you want. Notifications on the iPhone iOS 5 are really, really great. It works perfect. You got everything all in one place, and I love it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is called iMessage, which is basically BlackBerry Messenger for iPhones. You can do this to any iOS device. It works over 3G and Wi-Fi, and it allows you to send text, pictures, videos, map locations, and contacts all in the Messages app. As you see here, I have my iPad. I also have it here on my iPhone 4. It's built into the text message app. You also have it on the iPod Touch, and what it lets you do is basically talk to any device you want to, as long as it is an iOS device, for free. Now the cool thing about this, if you're using iOS 5 and you get a text message or you send a text message from the Messages app and they're using the new iMessages app, it's actually going to not charge you for a text message. So you can go ahead and downgrade your SMS plan if most of the people you talk to are using iOS devices. I know I'm definitely going to be doing it. Anyways, without further ado, let's show you the app. So I'm going to use it on my iPad here. So here's the app. Over here on the left, you got all of your conversations. If you want to open up a new conversation, just go ahead and hit the new message button, and we'll pop it up. Then you can add your contacts here. There is support for group messaging, so that's pretty nice. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to this conversation because this is talking to this phone right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, hey, and I'm going to send the message. And it gives you a delivery confirmation. It says delivered. And then if I go into the Messages app on my phone, we see at 10:23 I got a message saying, hey, so there you go, it works. As you see here, I did have some failed messages. It kind of is a little bit buggy. I'm sure they'll update this when the official release is out. But it works really well. It's free. It's going to save you a lot of text messages every month. If you're talking to a lot of iOS or iPhone users, it's a great new app, and I'm glad they did this. I'm kind of interested to see how AT&T and Verizon and all the other carriers think about this, because that's definitely going to cause some people to downgrade their SMS plans. Next up, we're going to talk about Safari. So first off, Safari is way faster now. They've did some stability improvements, and it works a lot better. They've also added tabbed browsing, which makes it a lot better, so you don't actually have to flick through tabs. You can actually just hit right here, hit the new tab button, and there we go. So if I wanted to go to Ty'sIPhoneHelp.com, I can do that, and it's giving me Tyson Gay. What is that? Anyways, there's tab browsing. It works great. You can have as many tabs as you want. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you. I'm just making a ton of tabs, and I can switch between all of those right here just by tapping on them. So the tab browsing works really well. They now have a new thing called Reader, which you can tap right here. There's a little button up in the URL bar, and basically what that gives you is everything on the page simplified. No ads, just a quick, easy to read layout. You can change the text sizes of it. If you want it bigger, you can go bigger and bigger and bigger to make it easier to read, and it takes everything out and just makes it simple. And I actually really like that. Sometimes it's annoying to read stuff on a web page when they have it cluttered with ads and all that kind of stuff. There's also a read later, so if I wanted to add this to my reading list, all we do is hit this button right here, add to reading list, and it's going to look exactly like that. And it's also going to sync the reading list up to the cloud. So if I go into my reading list here, we can see all of the stuff that I have added to it. Now, if I want to, I can go ahead and open up on my iPhone Safari and get the same exact reading list. It's going to sync between all of my devices, including your computer if you're using Lion, which will be out eventually also. So the reading list and reader features are great additions to Safari. It's definitely going to make it so much better, and I love it so far from when I've used it. It makes it so much easier to read in Safari. So the next app we're going to talk about is a new addition to iOS 5, and it is called Reminders. It is basically a to-do list app for your iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad, whatever you want to use it on, and I love it. I can't tell you how long I've been looking for a to-do list app that has this functionality. I know it's simple, it's a to-do list app, and there's tons of them in the App Store, but this one will actually sync all of your to-do list up to the cloud and spread it across all of your devices. Yes! I know I'm kind of getting too excited over a to-do list app, but I use these so much, and I hate using the little notes app on the iPhone for to-do lists, and this makes it so much better. So let's go ahead and show you around the app. You can have multiple to-do lists, or as they're called here, reminders. You can scroll through these here by going left to right. You can see all of your completed tasks. If you can say they're completed by just hitting the little checkbox beside them. So here I've got do dishes, make dinner, which are all women's stuff. Obviously, I'm just kidding. Anyways, you can go to see all your completed. You can scroll through all of your lists. If you tap here, you can edit and add new list or delete lists that you currently have. So if I want to delete that, you can go ahead and delete it. You can create a new list, and as you see here, we've got iCloud, which it syncs up with the iCloud. Again, we'll talk about iCloud here in a few minutes. You can search here through all of your reminders. That is a great feature. There's lots of stuff I have on my to-do lists, and I have several to-do lists, so it's good to be able to search through those. On each option of your to-do list, you can tap on it and set tons of different features for it. You can set it to remind you when it's due by, the priority of it, what list it's in. Now, this is the most amazing thing I thought. Say you're supposed to do something when you're in one state and you got to travel somewhere. You can actually set it to remind you at a certain location. So if you're going to leave and it notices you're leaving, it's like, hey, you need to go ahead and do this before you leave that state. It's just freaking awesome. I haven't got a chance to really use it much, but from what I have used it, it's worked just fine, and I'm super excited. I know this is definitely going to come in handy. So that is the Reminders app on iOS 5. So next up is the Camera and Photos app. They've got some great new updates in it. We'll start out with the camera. So if you want to take a picture now, you can actually use the volume up button over here on the left side, and you can actually take a picture with that. I'm not sure if it works on the iPad. I haven't had a chance to try that out, but it works great on the iPhone. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you. If I just hit the volume button right here, There we go, it saves a picture to my camera roll. There are also some new gesture features in it, so if I want to zoom in, I can actually just pinch to zoom in, and it zooms in right here. We still have the little scroll bar right here, but it's pretty cool to do it like that. So that's pretty cool, some pinch to zoom. I don't think it works on the front-facing camera. Let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you. You can see my camera. So yeah, it doesn't work on the front-facing camera, but we do have it on the back-facing camera. They've now added a little option button here, which we can set to turn on the grid, which I'll show you what that looks like. It basically puts grid lines on there so you can set up if you're a professional photographer. That will definitely come in handy. I don't really use that much, but that's pretty cool that they added that. You can turn HDR on and off right here also. You guys probably already know what that is. They've also added options to lock exposure and focus. So if you want to, you can just hold in and it will lock it. And there we go, you can see it's locked, or you can just tap and it will focus on a certain spot. All of your photos are now stored directly in the cloud automatically. It goes into something which is called Photo Stream, which basically takes all of your photos and publishes them to the cloud so it can sync between all of your devices and computers. And this is really great. I can't tell you how many times that I've taken pictures and I've restored my iPhone and completely forgot to sync them up before I do it. So this is definitely going to come in handy, at least for me, probably for a lot of you guys also, I'm guessing. Another one of the new features in the Photos app is that you can actually edit photos directly on your phone. So let's go ahead and tap the picture, hit the edit button, and you have options to rotate the picture. So if I want to rotate it, I can do it however I want to. Let's go ahead and put it back how it was. You can do enhancing on the photo, which normally makes it look a little bit better. We'll see how it looks when I do it here. So it actually brightens it up a little bit. It actually looks a little bit better. Some photos it doesn't work all that well for. Some photos it actually makes them look better. But from what I've seen, it actually looks a lot better when you do this. There is red eye reduction. So if I wanted to zoom in and I see that Gray has got red eyes, I can just go ahead and tap right there. And it recognizes the eyes and it will remove the red eye. It's actually saying that there's not any red eyes here, so obviously I can't show you that. And then they've also added cropping, which is probably my favorite feature in the Photos app now, is that you can actually crop your pictures. So if you want to resize them, you want to zoom in, you want to change the size of the picture itself, you can go ahead and do that. You can rotate it by just using 2 fingers and spinning right here. If I can get it to do that, I think you have to do it outside. Let's see if we can. I did it just a second ago and I can't get it to do it. But it works great. And you can basically resize and crop photos however you want. So I'm just going to hit crop and there we go. The photo saved exactly like that. Now the next app, which I'm not going to spend too much time on, is called Newsstand. And it basically looks just like iBooks, but it is a news reader for all of your magazines and newspapers that you subscribe to on the iTunes store. There is a little store button here. I don't think they've set it up yet, or I can't click it for some reason. But it says you can go in the App Store and this will basically put all of your newspapers and magazines all in one place and make it easy to access. It's also on the iPad and it does sync up between all of your devices, so that's pretty cool. I'm not going to show you that, but that is the Newsstand and that's how it works. There is also a few updates to the Game Center. Let's go ahead and open that up. As you can see, I have it in a separate folder where it's all maps that I don't really use much. So you can already tell that I don't use the Game Center that much. They added a few updates such as achievements. You can now do avatars, which I will show you in just a second if it will ever load. So you see here that I added avatar. You can take pictures or choose them from your library. You can now find friends of friends, so you can compare your scores and stuff in games to other users other than just your friends. And they also have recommended friends, so you can find new friends. And another feature is that you can now buy games in the Game Center. So if you find a game that somebody's playing that you want to download, you can go ahead and hit the button right there and it will go ahead and download directly in the app, which I'm not going to do that, but it works. So that's pretty cool and great updates to the Game Center. Not as good as Xbox Live, but it's getting there. Not really. So there are also some updates to the Mail app. First off is rich text formatting and indentation control. So basically, when you're typing something, you can select it, and you can actually make it bold, italicized, underline, bigger, all kinds of different things in there, and that makes it annoying for if you want to send people stuff with big, huge letters. You can do indentions, as I said, so the quote level, you can send it and make it bigger. So if you want to increase it, you can make it go in and in and in more the farther you want it to. So that's pretty cool. I don't really use those that much, but that's good that they added those. And they also have draggable email addresses, which lets you drag and drop email addresses from different categories like the CC, BB, to, from, all that kind of thing. I can't actually get it to work well, but you can do that. In emails, you now have the option to flag them. So if you have all the details showing, you can just hit mark and it pops up a little pop-up here at the bottom, and you can flag or mark it as unread. So just hit flag and it will leave a little flag on it for a later note. The next feature they added, which I'm super happy about, is deep Twitter integration. So if you go into the settings app, you can go ahead and tap on Twitter here, and you can enter your account details. You can have multiple accounts. I have my 2 accounts here, Ty Moss and Ty's iPhone Help. It doesn't actually install the Twitter app for you, but it does have a little thing here, and you can hit install. I now go ahead and do that for you. As you see, it says installed on mine. And then you can also connect the contacts in your address book on your phone with the contacts that are on Twitter, so it actually syncs up the pictures with your contacts that's on your TwitPics and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, let's show you how this works. So developers can put this into any app they develop, but it already comes in some of the apps that you have here, such as YouTube, Maps, Safari, and also a few others such as Photos. So I'm going to go ahead and show you YouTube. So say I just watched one of my daily vlogs and I wanted to share it. So what I do is I hit share video, and as you see here, tweet. There we go, and that's what I do. So let's go ahead and let that load up, and there we go. So you have right here, you can see where the video is, so it's a link to it, and I can say, hey, check the new vlog, and blah blah. So that's basically how that works. I hit tweet and it sends out. As I was saying, you can also do this in Maps with your location. I'm not going to open that up because it'll show where I'm at, and I don't really want you guys knowing that. Let's go ahead and show you what Safari looks like. So while it's loading, I'll just go ahead and hit the button right here in the middle, and we have the tweet button. So let's go ahead and hit tweet, and there we go, and it adds a link right there, and I can go ahead and include whatever I want to with it. I can even include my location, and there we go, tweeting from anywhere without having to leave the app. It's so handy. It's definitely going to come in use. I use Twitter on my phone a lot, especially when I'm reading something on my phone and I want to tweet it out. It's been complicated in the past because you have to go and copy the link, type what you want, go back and forth, and this makes it just so much easier with Twitter built into everything. So the next feature is iCloud, which every iOS 5 user gets this. Basically what it does is it backs up all of your data to the cloud, including music, apps, books, camera roll, device settings, and even app data. You get 5 gigabytes of storage for your documents, mail, and backups. Everything else like apps, music, all that stuff is completely free to store. iCloud is basically replacing Mobile Me, so Mobile Me is going to cease to exist, I think after sometime in 2012, and everyone will get iCloud for free. iCloud is amazing. As I was saying, it lets you back up everything. It does it automatically once a day. It does it when you have your phone locked and plugged up to its charger or to your computer, whatever, and it backs up everything automatically for you. There is no more plugging up to the computer to have to sync. It does it automatically. So what I did when I was setting iOS 5 up on my iPhone and my iPad, I set it up on my iPhone first, and then I set it up on my iPad, and it automatically brought all of my information that synced to the cloud from my iPhone onto my iPad instantly. So that means that when you get a new phone, you don't have to go and sync it. It automatically puts all of your information from your previous devices on there. You have the option to turn off iCloud if you want to. Here in the storage and backup under settings, you can actually buy more storage, but for me the 5 gigabytes is enough for my documents, mail, and backups. This does work with Keynote, Numbers, and Pages, so you can use all of your documents, Keynotes, stuff like that, and back those up, and that's what that 5 gigabytes of storage is going to go towards. It'll also work with Lion once that's out, so it's basically going to sync all of your devices together so you don't lose any of your data, and it automatically does it for you. It's an automatic backup system, which automatic is awesome because I'm too lazy to do it myself every single day, even though I should. And along with iCloud, they have added some new stuff in iTunes. So if you buy a song on your iPhone and you want it to, it will actually immediately start downloading on your iPad also. How awesome is that? And you can also browse through all of your purchase history right here on the purchase tab, and you can see everything that you've purchased. I actually don't get my music from iTunes, so I'm not going to have anything in there. So the iCloud is a great new feature, and I'm super excited because it is 100% for free, unless of course you want to buy more storage for it, which is up to you. Now, as I was saying just a minute ago, everything is synced to your phone. Why wouldn't software updates be wireless? Well, it is. You do not need any more cables at all on your iPhone, your iPad, or anything to activate it. You can take your iPhone 4 right out of the box and go ahead and activate it immediately straight from your phone no computer needed at all. Software updates are delivered over the air over your wireless network. It will not update your software automatically. You have the option to choose whether you do it or not. So that's the top features they released in iOS 5. I wanted to show you one more, and again, there's tons and tons of other features that I didn't have time to cover in this video. Make sure you check out the link in the description below the video because I'm going to go in depth on those, and you guys can give me your feedback in case you find any. But here it is. So this is the keyboard. This works on the iPad. Let me go ahead and open it up. If you hold right here on the keyboard button, you can set to undock it, which means you can drag your keyboard wherever you want to on your screen. As you see right there, my keyboard just split. So what you can do there, let me try to do this again. Tap right there and hold. I can dock and merge it. And now let me split it up again. So if you split the keyboard, you can drag it wherever you want to, and this makes it easier for typing. So if you don't have big hands, splitting it will make it a lot easier to type on your iPad. And that's just one more feature that I thought you guys would be interested in because that is pretty cool. And I'm interested to see what you guys think about that one. So that's it. Let me know what you think about iOS 5 so far from what you've seen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to click the like button below the video. I really appreciate it and it really helps me out a lot. Also, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button up there above the video so you can see when I post new videos like this. I'll be covering some more stuff probably in depth here soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.